Beyonce concerts. Do you believe she can still sing? I do. I didn't see John Legend play the piano during the pandemic. Do you believe he can still play? I do.
I know, but it's much easier just to sit down at the piano and play than it is to take, what he missed, 23 games and suddenly say, bam,
no,
I got this.
The man been playing, guess what? Guess why they can do that? Because they all have been doing something for it. Picasso took 6 weeks off. He could still play? Do you believe he could still play? Michelangelo.
No, but it's a difference.
That's what he is, Skip.
It requires some conditioning.
Skip.
Okay, and if you have a torn hamstring, you can't condition the way...
They did a great job of letting him come off the bench, feel his way into the game. It doesn't change. He didn't shrink. Now, all of a sudden, he didn't go from 7 foot to 6'5". His shot didn't come like Michael Kidd-Gilchrist's. So what changed in Kevin Durant? Kevin Durant is great. I expected Kevin Durant to be great. The only thing, he did have 6 turnovers. That's the only negative. But offensively, Kevin Durant got no hole, no weakness in his game. He can do it all. He always has been.
So you thought he'd just trot right back out on the court and go 5 of 5?
No, I didn't think he'd go perfect, Skip. But did I think that I didn't really know how many minutes they were going to give him? Were they going to give him 10 minutes? You know, he ended up playing, what, 19 minutes. So that's... I don't know if I thought he would go that far. I thought he might go 10 to 12, maybe even 15.
I would agree.
So I didn't know. Did I expect him to go perfect? 5 of 5 from the field and perfect from the three-point line and perfect from the free throw line? No, I didn't expect that, Skip. But I expected Kevin Durant to look like Kevin Durant. Remember the first game back? And Skip, after all that layoff that he had, missed the whole season and the pandemic, and he didn't go down to the bubble, and first game back, after over a year, he looked like Kevin Durant. So I expected him to look like KD with 6 weeks, 7 weeks off. So he is what he is. We know what Kevin Durant is. I have no questions about Kevin Durant. None when it comes to basketball.
Neither do I, which is why I would like to welcome back the best player on the planet.
We were having a good conversation. You know, you was going back.
Well, you set me right up for that. Thank you very much. Kevin Durant immediately left rust in the dust.
Yeah.
And yet he did it in a way only Nets do it. He did it in a way I didn't see coming. It was game time, and I just thought, well, if he's back, he'll start.
I thought,
and he might stay for 3 minutes and then take a rest, and then he might come back for another couple of 3 minutes, like you said, and it might total 12.
Yes.
That's what I thought for the night. No big deal. Just get your feet wet.
Right.
And instead, the game starts, and he's not to be found.
Right.
He's not on the bench. And I'm like, what are they doing? And then it's reported that he's somewhere back in the locker room somewhere warming up in his own way, whatever, stretching, or I don't know.
Probably got on the bike a little bit.
He probably did. Maybe he ran some little mini wind sprints or something, just to make sure everything was opened up and that his hamstring was completely open.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he comes in, and the first thing I know, if we could see the first shot he made, he comes off a down screen on along the baseline and just pops out to the elbow. If we can see it here, Kyrie just hits him coming right off the screen. And it's an elbow jumper, and he just nails it like
that's a shot.
Like he hadn't left. You know, like he's been doing this every night. And he just missed 23 games. And I'm thinking, this team has such... It's got like an arrogant sort of confidence about it, like in a supreme good way. They're just supremely confident, like, I got this.
Skip,
I haven't missed anything here.
How many scores you think in the NBA better than the 3 that they have on that roster?
Nobody, because the truth is, I don't believe any team in the history of this league has ever had 3 offensive talents like those together.
They have not. They have
because, by the way, Kyrie is playing at his highest level of his career, as we saw last night.
Right.
The dunk, the explosive dunk. He's not a dunker.
No.
And I think he's
feeling
sort
real
of
good.
showing off.
Yeah,
like watch this. He's 6'2", and he goes up, and he hangs on the rim and is pointing to his either family or friends over on the side.
You see that?
He did have some fans in. Did you see this? God, what are you doing? He's happy to have.
That ain't Kyrie. That's Uncle Drew there.
That's Uncle Drew.
That's Uncle Drew.
Like, what? I'm happy to have my guy back. Right. Watch this, Kevin. You got yours, I got mine. So that now they're just like feeding off each other. And obviously James now has some hamstring issue of his own. I don't think it's as serious as Kevin's. And I'm pretty sure he'll come back. And by the way, when he left, he was playing at his highest offensive level we've ever seen him play at. And then ESPN had a stat last night, which I double-checked just to let this sink in. No team in the history of this league has had 6 players on its roster who have made multiple all-NBA teams. Not all-star teams. I'm talking about all-NBA teams. This team has 6 more than any.
Yeah.
It's got Kevin with 9 and 6 first teams. James Harden with 7 with 6 first teams. Kyrie with 2, no first. These guys don't have first, but Kyrie has 2. Blake has 5. LaMarcus Aldridge has 5. And DeAndre Jordan made 3 first teams.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, 3 all-NBA teams and 1 first team.
Right.
But that's the collection and depth of that talent is absurd.
Skip, you might, if you think about it, because, you know, Clyde Drexler was an all-NBA player, and so was Barkley, so was Elijah Wan. But these guys are on the team. They're really in their prime. Ain't nobody over the hill.
The top 3.
Yeah, the top 3 in their absolute prime.
Yes.
Kyrie's still in his 20s.
And by the way, DeAndre Jordan takes a lot of flack as kind of the 4th wheel or whatever. But he made first-team All-NBA in 2016. It's not that far back. When he led the league in field goal percentage. Okay, well, he's still got some game.
Yes.
And I think he's still got some defensive game.
Well, I think the thing is, Skip, is that they like Claxton really well.
They do.
LaMarcus Aldridge.
The more I watch him, the better he gets, man.
And LaMarcus Aldridge can just do things that DeAndre Jordan can't.
Agreed.
He's live. He got 3-point range. You can pick and roll him. You can pick and pop him.
And trust me, because I've watched him so much as a Spur, he can protect the rim.
Yes.
He has a long 6'11".
Right. And so the thing is, when you get DeAndre Jordan, Skip, basically all you're getting is pick and roll, lob to the rim. But you see LaMarcus, Skip, he can step back. He can hit that 15-footer. He got 3-point range. He can pick and roll also. He ain't going to really catch no lob, but, hey, he'll pick it, lay it up in there, dunk it occasionally.
So the only team that's going to stop the Nets, to me, as I've told you before, is the Nets. Because they got some weird dudes on this team. They got some... I don't know what they're... Like Kevin says after the game, it was pretty cool coming off the bench. And I'm thinking... It was? You like that? Are you going to now advocate for, I think I should be Manu Ginobili?
Yeah, I think Steve Nash need to put his foot down and say, nah, bro, you ain't coming off no bench. You might be no 6 man.
As you've pointed out many times, Kyrie was saying, we don't really need a coach. Well, I think that's their mentality, but I think Steve Nash is kind of hanging in there doing a pretty good job with this group, right? So the point is...
Yes, just call a timeout. If another team go on a run, just call a timeout. That's all you got to do. Hey, guys, I'm just giving y'all a break. Y'all will figure it out.
But they do seem to share the ball pretty well.
They do, yes.
It looked good last night. The ball movement looked good. And Kevin said after the game, all you have to do is move yourself and move the ball. And it works. Well, they seem to get that. And I don't see a lot of solo ball, you know, ISO ball.
No, they don't. I mean, Skip, they got guys that can shoot. I mean, look, the big three can all shoot the 3. Then you got Joe Harris, who's a marksman. You got Shannon, who's a marksman. You got TLC, who can shoot the 3.
And we both love Jeff Green because he's just a basketball player.
That's all he does, Skip.
And he looks great. He doesn't look his age.
The poor Jeff ought to ask for a raise because it don't matter. They put him on Zion.
They do.
They'll put him on Anthony Davis. They'll put him on Giannis. Skip, they give him the toughest assignment night in and night out. And he plays hard on the defensive end. He'll hit big threes. He rebounds. I've liked him ever since I saw him when he played with LeBron in Cleveland. He's just a basketball player.
So now there's a countdown to the playoffs, and their only issue is going to be the big 3 just haven't played nearly enough games together. So when does James come back, and how quickly can they reach chemistry where it starts to really click? Well, maybe they don't need chemistry.
James Harden ain't coming back before the end of April. They're talking about 10 days.
They tried the other day.
Exactly.
And
I'm not chancing that. James Harden, I'll see you the 1st of May.
Okay, but then he and Kyrie and Kevin just haven't played enough games.
That's what don't worry about. Skip, I ain't worried about that. I worry about that. The only thing I believe that can derail them is health. That's it. Because, Skip, they have 3 guys that on a given night, 2 of the 3 can go get 40. If all 3 need to, all 3 can go get you 25 plus. Who else can do that?
Well, can't all 3 get 50 if they want to? No, seriously.
No, they can. I don't know if they get that in the game, but yes, we've seen all these guys. We know what Kevin Durant. We've seen James Harden. We know James Harden. James Harden can get 60. And you look up just like, he had 60. KD gets 40, and you're like, man, that dude only took 18 shots. He got 40 points. And then Kyrie is there. you forget because Kyrie is so artistic that you forget. Like, Kyrie had 41 the other night.
Yep.
And you're like, hold on. All I saw was those acrobatic layups. He had 40 points? Yes, he had 40 points and was dancing in the process.
He was